Well, reaction was wild for me because I thought that my film is really, like this kind of minimal and wouldn't expect such a, expressive reaction from the jurors. So I was really overwhelmed. For me, it was like a really great feeling that they felt in the for me in the right moments. They felt the emotion, the connection to the characters. So I don't know what to highlight, but like even when the characters kiss, I was like, okay, it's just a kiss, but for them it was like an event almost, and I was like, oh, okay, great. I mean, it works. So uh, really positively, I'm really positive about the whole experience. Well, I was totally surprised that the jurors read, kind of through behind the lines, all the context and all this and the story about Emilia, the ghost girl, that and what does she represent, and the whole duality of two worlds between the modern world and this kind of old and mysterious one. So that was like very surprising, the way they kind of read the subtext. It's really beautiful, I think. Photography was as the film is based on a book. The photography was there from the very beginning, but it was digital photography, and we kind of took it further when we started to develop the story. That like to have some sort of this. There's a lot of contrast in the film, so we wanted to contrast, like modern phones, that it's actually so easy, to take a photo, and there's like no value to it very often. And then at the same time, with the film, you're like more conscious of what you're picturing. You can't, because you have only like 36 shots. So we found that there's a beautiful parallels, as you said, that how an introverted character can discover the world around him through art, and at the same time just kind of make maybe young audiences think, of this kind of what's the value of image in modern world. So that was the kind of intention. Nature is really important, and I think bogs are Estonia's this kind of trademark treasure, and people go there to get comfort, but at the same time, they go there, just to get maybe rid of their biggest fears of, just to kind of drift away from the modern civilization. So I think it works on so many levels, just as a kind of, you can find a caress there, but yeah, also it can be like scary to face your own, your inner self. So it's, I think, it's this kind of location that I think symbolizes in the best way of this kind of a young person who is, in this turmoil of so many choices, so many kind of things that tear them apart. So that's why we chose this setting in particular. I will be delighted and totally, on ninth cloud if they will see anything at all in my film, because I'm like, I can't even wish for anything, but it means so much that to me, to our crew, to young actors, that if we tackle on some topics or some emotions that they are going through at this time, because I think it's such a complicated and so chaotic time to live in. I can't even bear half of it, what they're living through. So it's for me, it's the biggest reward, if they will find something that will resonate with them. I thought it was impossible to make this film even. That's the thing. Because it's my first film. You're doubting so much. You're so scared. You're making a film about generation that you don't know much about. You can research, but you're so unsure, so insecure. So in a way, I'm Morton. I'm like super insecure of making this movie. but but his story and my crew around me and all the young actors, they made me believe that I can make this film, you know, and that it has to be made. If it could be some message, you know, in this way, that yeah, that it's possible, you know, to kind of find yourself, you know, in this world, to find a place for yourself as a young person in this world, for sure, you know, even if everything goes against you, you know, there are still people to whom you could, you know, reach out. You're not alone, you know. So that's, I guess, my biggest wish, you know, for all young people.